Hello, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Behind the Small Business Podcast with me, your host, Kevin Dan Dino. And of course, this is always brought to you by Centennial State Insurance Agency. If you're looking for a quote, either personal or commercial, please reach out to us. We'd be more than happy to get you set up with a quote. Today, I got Jonathon Thigpen from Transparent Cleaning Company with me today. Jonathon, how are you doing today, good sir?
Hey, Kevin, I'm doing awesome. Yeah, really Good day, enjoying the sunshine and just working hard. It's all good.
That weather, it's finally turning. I'm a winter guy myself, but this time of year, like if this was the hottest it got in Colorado, I'd be perfectly fine.
Right.
But I'm loving it right now. I'm sure you guys are too, working outside and doing all the stuff you do.
Oh yeah, we're starting to hit our busy season for window cleaning and gutter cleaning and all the things that are a lot more fun to do outside in the sun than in the snow.
Yeah, I'm sure. Well, let's get into all of that, man. Let's start with kind of letting us all learn about you and your business. So kind of, explain to us, what is Transparent Cleaning Company? What do you guys do? How long have you been around? All those kind of things. Take it away.
Yeah, man. So Transparent Cleaning Company is a multi-service cleaning business based in Colorado Springs. And I'd say one of the things that kind of makes us a little interesting is instead of trying to spread ourselves a mile wide and an inch deep and serve everybody all the time, our goal is to really have a smaller core of clients that we take just amazing care of, so that our clients can have one business that they trust to call on and help them all over the house. And kind of one of our mantras is making your house feel like home again. So that's kind of what we're aiming to do. And we started with window cleaning because that's kind of where some of my background is. I've done that professionally for 10 years. And 6 years ago, we started our own business. Me and my buddy Spencer started it together. And we kind of branched into other forms of cleaning, partly because there was just demand for it, and then partly also to just kind of stabilize. Whereas window cleaning is a very seasonal demand. We're very boom or bust in spring and summer, and then slows down a lot in fall and winter. So we branched into home cleaning to kind of stabilize that bell curve a little bit, and also just provide something that our clients were asking for a lot. And so now we offer window cleaning, home cleaning, janitorial, post-construction cleanup, gutter cleaning, a little bit of pressure washing, and just some standard kind of maintenance tasks around the house. And it's pretty fun. We've got a team about 8 or 9 of us right now, and pretty dedicated crew, and just love their hearts. And really, the goal has always been take really awesome care of our staff and our clients, and the rest will take care of itself.
No, I love that. I love that mantra. I think it's very true, and I think it's really cool to hear that you guys do such a wide range of things. It's not just in home. It's not just large business, kind of things. You kind of spread it all out. So definitely want to hear a little bit more about that. But first, kind of want to hear about how you came up with the name Transparent Cleaning Company. I think that's definitely unique. I don't see anything else like that out there. But what's the story behind that, man?
Yeah, so it's kind of funny, actually. When I was originally starting my own business, even before Spencer and I decided to try it together, I was thinking of it like Integrity Cleaning Company, because integrity just means a lot to me, and it's one of our core values. Sure. But there's a lot of businesses that are integrity XYZ. So I wanted something that stood out a little bit more, but kind of had a similar meaning. And my brother-in-law actually is the one that came to me with the meaning and said, or with the name, and said, well, how about transparent? Because it kind of can mean the same thing, but then also you have a little double entendre there where you're cleaning the glass and making it transparent. And I was like, yep, there it is. That's the perfect one. And the reason we didn't start with transparent window cleaning was because from the beginning, we kind of had that eye of, we wanted to be more well-rounded and be able to offer more than one service for our clients. So we wanted something a little more general. So if it's dirty, we'll clean it.
I got you, man. No, I think that's it does. It and just so you know, like for me and what I was looking at, like it does kind of communicate that. Like I got the intent of the name, right? You know what I mean? Like I know where you're going with that, and it stands out. So major props to you from that. I'm just kind of curious, like what got you into this line of business? What made you wake up one day and say, not only do I want to get in this line of business, but I want to open my own business with Spencer? It sounds like to, get this going, ourselves, because taking that leap of faith into opening your own business is a large, it's a big thing. So kind of
No
walk us
joke,
through
man.
how you got into the whole thing.
Yeah. To be honest with you, I never would have seen myself as like being the entrepreneur type. I'm not
Sure.
like a salesy kind of person. I'm like I am a creative. I have a lot of creative hobbies, painting, photography, writing, all that stuff. So creativity is kind of natural to me, but I never thought of myself as a salesy business guy kind of person. Um, but how I stumbled into it is just kind of funny because most of my adult career has been spent with doing Christian ministry. And when I started getting serious with my now wife, my wonderful father-in-law sat me down and said, "Hey, it's amazing that you want to do all these things and change the world and love people and save babies and do all the things. That's great. But just so you know, if you want to marry my daughter, you're going to have to actually feed her and provide
Yeah.
a little bit too."
Uh,
So
oh,
I had
yeah,
been
I
kind
get
of a
you.
part of this one organization that kept like doing the carrot thing of like, "Oh, we've got this full-time position for you, but just wait a little bit longer and just a little bit longer." And so kind of went, you should just cut that off, go get a job that pays money. And I was like, all right,
Right.
you know what, you're right. So I went and got kind of the first job that I could find while I was finishing my bachelor's degree that paid better than minimum wage and wasn't in food service. And that just happened to be cleaning windows for another company. And come to find, I actually enjoyed it a lot. I like the gratifying working with your hands, but also kind of tied to customer service. It's a very intimate thing, just kind of being in somebody's house and taking really awesome care of them and getting to know them a little bit. So it was just kind of a fun balance of like almost felt like hospitality, but also home service. So I enjoyed that. And the company I started at didn't really treat people super well, which not to rag on them, but it was just
No,
the
a lot of
way things
companies
were
like that.
structured. It wasn't awesome where a lot of guys weren't trained properly, and then they were getting
Yeah.
a lot of complaints, and then they kept sending me out to go fix the complaints because I cared a lot. But then that also was like, okay, but then you're punishing your good staff that do care because we're only seeing angry clients
Yep.
all the time. So I just kind of started going, you know what, I bet I could do this better, treat people
Mm.
better, care for them really well, and treat our employees better if I did it by myself.
Right.
So I left and I started kind of doing it as a side gig. But Spencer was a buddy of mine and I had gotten him a job at the same place. And then he found out later that I was kind of doing it on the side and was invited himself in. And I'm very glad he did because he brought a lot more of the small business background and mindset of he kind of grew up as a son of entrepreneurs and kind of knew more of that background. So he kind of, I joke that that I had built a really nice frame for like a Maserati or something, but it was just sitting there as like a really expensive lawn ornament. And then he
Right.
came along and said, "Let's put an engine in this thing." Um, so it kind of worked out being a good pairing and helped us not burn ourselves out. But
Sure.
it kind of grew from there.
Okay. Well, I like that story a lot. And to me, the things that stand out to me is you had the passion, right? You had a goal, you had a dream of what you wanted to do. And just based off of life,
Yeah.
I think a lot of people would have said, well, there goes my dream, there goes my passion, like, get flustered, but you were able to turn that into something that still kind of fit what you wanted to do. It may not be ministry, but the people you're meeting, the people you're interacting with all the time, everything you're talking about of getting to know people and not just provide them the service, but tie that person part of it to it,
Yeah,
um,
man.
and getting to know people. And I think that's a step that a lot of companies don't take,
Yeah, and that's a huge part of our heart too, because like we've never lost the ministry heart. Like I still one of our other mantras, I guess, is that work is worship. And so for me, like
Sure.
we try to attack every day with like we're going to glorify God with everything that we do, whether it's cleaning a window or preaching a sermon, it doesn't matter at the end of the day, as long as we're trying to be consistent with our faith and take good care of people and love the people in front of us and just
Sure.
make somebody's day better from having interacted with us. And that's one of the coolest things to me. I've found, actually, I've had some of the most fulfilling like ministry moments owning my own business than I ever did when I had a title in an organization.
Sure.
Like I've been director level at local organizations before, and I've still found like some of the best realist interactions I've had were with people just cleaning stuff in their house. And like,
Right.
That's been kind of a point of pride for us of taking good care of our clients when we're like, oh man, they just lost their daughter. Well, let's give them a free clean. Or, oh man, she just lost her husband. Let's take good care of her and give her a free window clean. Or just sending flowers when someone passes away, or just different things like that. When somebody's going through cancer or chronic illness, or just that it's different being able to, instead of just say like, hey, let us know if you need anything, just being able to show up and kind of do something tangible and be like, hey, I heard that you're going through a lot. Can I just come and clean your house for you? And just like doing little things like that just really makes it hit different and makes it feel a lot more human, a lot more powerful of like, this is the company I want to build. And this is the difference I want to make in the world. Like, show people that business doesn't have to be about making money. Like, yes, I would love to make money. I'd love to provide for my kids and my wife and my house. But also, like, if we can genuinely kindly love on people while we do it, that makes a huge difference. And I kind of want to set the standard of that as a business owner, that showing how we treat people and how we take care of people in our community really matters.
Yeah. And that, kind of brings up the point that I was going to go to next, and that was perfect segue. So thank you for that. But that's something I do ask every business owner on the show, more or less, because the community involvement is done differently by almost every business owner. They have a different viewpoint on it. They have a different approach on it. Obviously, their business can provide different things, right, than others. So, but I think it is really important to figure out how to tailor fit your company for what, you can do in the community. And, you've taken these passions of yours, and first off, yes, the number one goal of any business is to make money, because if you're not making money, there is no business to be had.
Yes.
So, I understand that. But to go beyond that and say, we're going to do these things for people in need, without being asked, without, hey, I'll go do it for them, but you're the one that's going to pay me, like you're just genuinely caring about the people and going out of your way for them, and to find instances of to be able to do that, I think says a lot about the type of company you're running, and would, I think speak to a lot of people when they're looking for somebody, to come in their home and do anything, whether it's plumbing, electrical, roofing, or cleaning. So, Matt, props to you for that there. And I kind of want to ask, what other kind of things, we were talking about this before the show too, what other things do you do community involvement wise, and maybe expand a little bit more about like, what is your overall viewpoint when it comes to how you approach community involvement in total?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think one of the biggest ways that we kind of treat it is we're very upfront about being a Christian-owned business and like what that looks like. And what that looks like for us is not using Jesus as a marketing gimmick. Like, we're not putting the Christian fish on our bumper stickers or on our business cards or whatever. But for us, that just means like, love your neighbor.
It's the actions.
Care about them. Like, go way above and beyond everything that you've seen before. And like, part of that is loving the people in Colorado Springs and just caring a lot about our city and the people in it. And we really enjoy getting to have that opportunity, and just also supporting other people that we see that are doing that really well. Like, one of our causes that we've rallied behind is Colorado Springs Pregnancy Center, and they're amazing. So like, a lot of times pregnancy centers get a bad rap of only caring about the baby, but these people just are so awesome. They do offer like free ultrasounds and free options counseling and free prenatal care and all that you would expect at a pregnancy center. But then they also go above and beyond and offer like 2 years worth of parenting classes for people that do want to raise their child, and like offer support through like tangible things like cribs and diapers and just all the things that they would need for their kids, even like giving away car seats. And like, I just love that. I love that. So we've kind of rallied around them and support them in a number of ways. But one of the ways that we do that is cleaning the windows on their thrift store once a month. So pretty easy. But we just, show up, clean the glass, say hi and leave. And so we also donate monetarily, but just, little things just takes one less thing off their plate that they're trying to run. Just like love supporting organizations like that in town, like Springs Rescue Mission's another one that we've donated to and worked with. And we've donated different things like Cause I Love You, another great group in town. We've kind of partnered with them to offer like home organizing sometimes when they're like renovating somebody's house or whatever. Just done a couple things like that, or we'll come in and clean the space before they do the home renovation or after. And it's kind of fun. So we love getting to do stuff like that. Just a blast, honestly, like getting to just surprise people. Surprise and delight is a big thing, I think. And we're always looking for more ways to do that, and more ways to, of course, grow our business and all of that, but also just grow our community impact is a big thing that I don't ever see us trying to become a 501c3 or anything like that. But I'm greatly excited to know, like, as we continue to grow, one of the best things that comes out of that is then being able to turn around and give back more. And part of that's employing people in our community that sometimes don't always have the opportunities that other people have, and just taking awesome care of our team that come in here and helping them live their lives and supporting their dreams a little bit. And every once in a while, Spencer and I will kind of sit back and be like, man, we had a rough month. We didn't get to pay ourselves, but we made payroll, and that's huge. And like, dude, wow, look at all these families that we got to support because of our business. Like, that's amazing. So we love doing stuff like that, just taking care of our little circle of people. And when needs come up, like when somebody says, hey, like this organization just had flood damage, like we'd love to come and clean up for that or whatever. And so it's just a fun ride, and puts a little more heart into it, so it's not just a menial task, but have a little bit more meaning.
No, I like that. There's a lot of different things going on there that you do, and so I like that approach, and that you do what you can across the board. You're not just looking at one specific place to donate to or cause, which again, there's nothing wrong with that, but for what you're doing and the services you provide, you're finding a lot of different ways to go out and provide that service to people in need, and whether it's a monetary donation or something you do to partner with them. I love that. So look, man, that's fantastic to hear. I think the next thing I kind of want to talk to you about a little bit is, you've been running this company for a while now. Through the times there, what are some of the biggest struggles you think that you faced, and kind of how did you overcome those at any point during your tenure there?
Yeah, I mean, not going to lie, if somebody had told me 6 years ago how difficult it was going to be, I might have just kind of been like, no, that's okay. I'll do something else. but at the same time, it's grown us a lot as people, and it's shown me a lot more about who I am, like both positive and negative, but ultimately, like, it's shown us that we can endure hard things. We can bear up with strengthening our spine and hit it another day, and like we can overcome a lot, and that's kind of a cool thing. Like, it really has highlighted for me a lot of the statistics I had heard but didn't necessarily like think too hard about, of like 80% of businesses closing their doors within 5 years, and being like, wow, that feels a lot more real now that we've had a couple of those moments where we almost had to do that, and we've survived that. Praise God for that. That's awesome.
Exactly.
like there's definitely some hard spots. Like a year and a half ago, we did almost have to close our doors, and it was just kind of a perfect storm of like not any like one bad thing, but just a whole host of small things at once, where we lost our like rock star employee that had originally set us up with starting home cleaning. And
Oh, wow.
we immediately lost like 30% of our client base when he left. Not that he didn't do anything wrong, but they just only wanted him. And then we learned a valuable lesson that they only had his clients only had a relationship with him, not with us. And they didn't want anybody else. And then it was the few people that wanted to give us a shot after he left. Then it wound up being kind of a bumpy road because our like second best person was out for surgery. So that it went from this 4-year like cleaning veteran wizard to like this trainee where we're like, please be patient. He's trying his best. And like,
Yeah.
we lost like a lot of revenue right there. And that was hard.
Sure.
And the timing was terrible because we had just signed on a new lease for a new office space. We had just made a bunch of decisions based off of like projected growth, because we'd gone, okay, we're expanding and growing like 2-3x every year. I think we can make all these plans and decisions. And then having a big setback was like tough, where we didn't really like shrink, but we stayed about the same revenue wise as we had the year before. But when you up your expenditures a good bunch and the revenue stays the same, that's a hard pill to swallow. So we definitely had to restructure some things. And then personally, I was going through a hard time at the time too, but that was also kind of the turning point where we kind of went, okay, we can either like give this up, try to sell, close our doors, go do something else, or we can really go all in and try to turn the ship around. And that's what we did. And prior to that point, I had only been part-time in business. My business partner had been full-time for most of what we had been doing. And I had been about 3 days a week. And that's when I decided to go full-time to try and turn things around, which a lot of times people say like you go full-time when you're when things are going well, but
right, exactly.
I did kind of the opposite of that. But, it had been a long arduous journey of trying to dig ourselves out of a hole, but worth it.
Right.
Good struggle, and throwing ourselves in hardcore and just kind of going, all right, like, I don't think I could live with the fact of not having given it my all if it did close.
Sure.
So that was a big step. And I think it kind of highlighted what I view as my biggest regret in starting a business, which was never like really trusting myself enough to go full time and to let go of all my other jobs or whatever else that I was doing at the time. But to really like take the dive, jump in head first, burn the ships, get rid of any plan B, plan C. So
all in.
That was, it was a big step. And the trajectory has been good. We've been seeing a lot of fruit from that. It's definitely been an uphill battle, but we've learned a lot. And
yeah, no, I can imagine. Because I mean, you said the stat earlier, 80% in the first 5 years. So it's a situation that I would say every single business owner has faced. Maybe there are some unicorns out there who are like, yeah, I opened this business and I started making thousands of dollars on the very first day and never looked back. Right? Yeah.
All these people just throw money at me all the time. I don't know what to do with it. Yeah.
And if I ever find that type of job, you better bet I'm gone too. I haven't found it yet. So I think that's something that, a lot of business owners can really relate to, especially with the COVID stuff, or just like what you're saying. It doesn't have to be one singular big thing, just a lot of little things. And when you don't have a ton of employees and you basically lose your top two, that's basically losing a quarter of your workforce,
Right. Yeah,
any company, any business is going to really struggle if they lose a quarter of their top workforce.
Right. A quarter of their workforce, and 30% of their revenue it was a big hit. And it definitely set us back, but we've built back in a more sustainable way, I think, where we've learned from our near failure of, oh wow, systems are really vital, and like, and it doesn't really matter like how good of a job you do if you don't have a relationship with your client, like you can be forgotten. So it's important to have these kind of structures and intentional relationships behind what you're doing. And it's interesting though, because like I had always just kind of assumed it would be easier and harder to start a business. Of like in some ways we have so much opportunity at our fingertips that it's never been easier. Like there's so many free resources. There's so many things that you can do to start a business like overnight, and the opportunity is unprecedented, but then also like the noise is crazy, where there's always somebody trying to get your money as a small business owner. There's always some course you can take, some lead generating thing you can buy, something. Like there's always a million options, and then you don't know what you don't know. And then you're thousands of dollars in the hole because you spent money on the wrong thing, or even the right thing, but at the wrong time, and all the things. But at the same time, I've found in business is the biggest thing is just like having the grit to get up and try again once it's hard. It's interesting reading the success stories of a lot of business owners out there. Like you said, there are some unicorns, like Sticker Mule, for instance, like first business, and then they're just dominating the industry. Like amazing, love that. But those are almost just like flukes compared to all the other success stories where it's like, oh wow, this is his 14th business, or oh wow, he declared bankruptcy 3 times, or whatever. Whatever. Each person's story is unique and different, but the thing they all kind of had in common is the grit to just get up and do it again, even when it was hard and sucked and lonely and nobody was rooting for them. But just being able to just muscle through it and do it, and be the kind of person that is successful versus just like having success. And that, I agree. It changes you. It changes you a lot. It does. It's and
if you take the lessons, like what you're saying. No, if you take the lessons and you apply them, like, look, if somebody has filed for bankruptcy 3-4 times, okay, but on this business, they're doing really well. It's because they take the lessons they've learned and they continue to push forward. At any one of those situations, any one of the situations you've been in, you can be like, hands in the air, I'm done, I'm tapping out, like this is it, but you kept pushing. And so I think that's a big, thing for any business owner out there, is even if you haven't had a rough spot yet, you're going to, I would assume. And just have that mentality of preparing yourself as best you can. And then just knowing that, hey, I'm dedicated to this. I'm going to, plow through it, and we'll see the sunlight on the other side. So I think that says a lot about the type of business owner as well. So that's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's so worth it too. Like, I just kind of think of like the times growing up where my dad would always push me to do something hard, like climb a mountain, ride a bike. What doesn't matter what it was, but I didn't want to do it. I wasn't one of those like really athletic kids that was really into all that kind of stuff. So I did not like it, but at the same time, the accomplishment, like once you take a step back and go, oh yeah, I can do this, and I did it, even though it was hard, is really kind of cool. And like watching yourself become a different kind of person than you thought you could be is definitely validating and encouraging.
For sure.
Worth it at the end of the day, even like no matter what comes, whether we close our doors tomorrow or sell for millions of dollars or keep at it and grow or whatever happens, the lessons are worth it and cool, of like just seeing the ways that it's grown us and shaped us and challenged us to become better. It's just cool. And I had somebody asking the other day whether I was like worried about all of our competitors, because there's just like a whole lot of cleaning companies in town all of a sudden. Some of them are doing way better than us, and some of them are not doing as well as us, and some are doing just about the same as us, and all this stuff, but it's a crowded space all of a sudden. And I'm like, no, honestly, I'm not that concerned. Like, yeah, it sucks when we lose somebody to door-to-door person charging a lot less. Like, okay,
Right.
but that happens. But my biggest thing is going, at the end of the day, we all win though. Like if I'm
Yeah.
surrounded by awesome competitors doing really good, darn good work, then that just means I have to be better. And
Right.
then guess
Exactly.
what? That's a win. Like either I
Yep.
win and beat the competitors, and that's great, or I get better to try and keep up with the competitors, and I still won because I get better.
Right.
And
Well,
at
and
the end
that's
of
a
the day, the
common
client
thing.
wins too.
Yeah. No, and that's a common thing I hear from business owners on this podcast is, to me, going into this, not being a business owner myself, I would have assumed there would be a lot more, how do I say it? This is my losing train of thought.
Animosity.
Cut that. Yeah. Okay. So, I would have thought that not having a business owner experience, there'd be a lot more animosity towards, your competitors. It's not us and them working together, learning from each other, maybe finding ways to partner together, or just learning from each other. But I thought it'd be more of a, hey, I want to be the best. I want to stand out from you. So I'm going to go over here and play I have a secret. I'm not going to talk to you. Right. But it seems like all of the successful business owners that I've talked to all have very strong networks, especially within the same type of business that they currently have themselves. And they lean on each other and they talk to each other and they learn from each other. So, I mean, it's a complete opposite from what I expected, but that's what I'm telling you. Like the successful businesses all have that in common.
I think that's true. And something I've found too is just like a common thread in a lot of successful people that I've known is that they are not defensive, that they tend to be the ones that are really like humble enough to learn from anybody and
taking
are
feedback,
not like grasping, trying to prove themselves or hang on to the thing that they think is theirs or whatever. And I think that just kind of carries over to like how you interact with people that are in your space too. Like, I mean, we've reached out and had some people kind of act like that when we're trying to be friendly or whatever. They're like, no, you're our competition, whatever. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Like,
okay, good luck to you.
Instead of collaborative, be my guest. Like,
right.
You can go be an a-hole. You can tear down other people's signs and put yours up and do the things and be mean. Fine, whatever. But like, if you want to be friends, we'll be friends. And that's great.
Exactly.
Like we've had other businesses in our same space that we've actually kind of become friends with, and we check in with each other over the phone and like just kind of ask questions and go, hey, what do you think of this? What do you think of that? Have you tried this method? Like, has that worked for you?
Yeah.
How does this method of advertising work? Like swap book recommendations. It can be really valuable. And a buddy of mine and I were just laughing about this the other day, being like, it's kind of weird being in the same like space in the same city, but at the same time, like just trying to be like, all right, you know what? Like, we're just not going to be a-holes to each other. And just like, if we both get big where we're tripping over each other, that's a good problem to have. That's a first world problem to have. And like, at the end of the day, that's going to make the client experience better if all the companies in town are pushing each other to improve and get better. Like, that's awesome. We want that. We want the industry standard to get higher because then everybody wins. And then also, like, if, like I said, it just pushes you to be better. So, like, great.
You can't get complacent, right? When you know there's competition out there, but you're actually seeing them and talking to them, right? That you have to continue to push yourself. And there's nothing wrong with wanting to be the best and having that healthy competition, right? But like, another thing, I was talking to a groomer the other day. I think it was on this last episode, and she was talking about something similar. But the situations that can arise from when she had to go out because of medical issues for a while. Because of her network, she and her knowing other groomers and knowing the type of work they do, she had no problem saying, hey, I can't do this, but I can tell you if you go over here, they're going to treat you so well. They're going to take care of you and take care of your dog or cat and do really good work. And so that not only pushes business to them, but I'd say that makes you look really good too, because okay, I see that you have a connection. I can see that you're willing to share and point me in the right direction, not leave me floundering going, okay, now what do I do? So to have that ability to say, okay, I can't do this, but how about you go over here? Because these guys, they will take care of you. And that kind of goes back and forth, next time they're in a situation, they might be referring you. So you never know how it's going to get paid back to you in the future.
Exactly. And we've had that happen a few times before too, where there's other cleaning companies that we kind of send leads back and forth to each other. Like another cleaning company in town, Vetter Cleaning, they're great. They do home cleaning, but when they have clients that ask for window cleaning, then they send them to us, and we're like, that's amazing. And then we're just not going to be a-holes and try to steal your clients to do home cleaning with us. Like,
Right.
Great.
Exactly.
And then
share the work. Yeah.
Exactly. And when we're like tapped out and don't have any more people that can do the cleaning, we'll send them to them and be like, hey, they might have an opening on their schedule. Like, check them out. They're promise they'll take really good care of you. So like, you're totally right. That collaborative spirit goes a long ways, and just like, it makes everybody better, because like, we've thought about it too. Like, a couple of the companies in town on the window cleaning side, we've kind of made agreements to each other. Like, look, if one of us lands this gigantic project or whatever that we can't handle, then we'll subcontract out to each other and be like, if we can both clean it and then both add a bunch of revenue to our business, we both win. Like, why just be mean?
It seems simple, right? But there are people out there that are they're mean or whatever, so
yep.
It's interesting, man. But
it's just like, just have integrity, just taking care of people. And I think of it too as
be
like,
transparent. Is that a good way to put it? Be transparent.
Yeah,
see what I did there?
Yes. It's funny too, because like being a homeowner and also a business owner has given me like perspective of going, certain things that I see businesses do that I'm like, my homeowner brain switches on and goes, if I saw that, I wouldn't want to hire you, because if that's how you treat your competitors, you might treat me that way, and I don't want that.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Yeah. Well, it's true. How authentic are they?
Right.
Do they treat everybody the same, or is it a face because they're just trying to get some more money? You want somebody who's genuine about their work and about the way they treat their clients and their employees. And so, look, man, it's all fantastic, and I love hearing what you have to say here. But I do want to kind of make sure I give you an opportunity here at the end to tell everybody how they can find you, how they can reach out to you. If you want to go over the services you provide and just anything else that you want them to know about you.
Appreciate that. Yeah, no. We offer home cleaning, window cleaning, janitorial, gutter cleaning, a little bit of pressure washing, post-construction cleanup. Basically, we offer a variety of services. We've heard the negative press that jack of all trades can get, but something people don't often know is that actually the full quote is, a jack of all trades, master of none is better than a master of one. So it's often misquoted there, but
they just stop it right there.
We've kind of taken the approach of, if we can masterfully take care of our clients in a variety of ways, why not do that? So we're reachable from transparentcleaningcompany.com. You can find us on all the socials at Transparent Cleaning Co. You can take a look at check our work on Instagram, or follow us on Facebook. But our phone number is 719-428-0255. And our wonderful office administrator, Trish, will chat with you for a while and get you taken care of. And we're happy to offer free estimates customized to your home.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. Well, hey, thank you very much again, Jonathon, for joining us today. Appreciate all of your insights, and love to have you back on future episode if there's anything else you want to talk about, or maybe just share some more experiences and stories and whatnot. So
yeah, man, I'm game. This was fun.
Thank you very much. Perfect. Love to hear it. Well, hey, everybody else, again, thank you very much for tuning in. Remember, this is brought to you by Centennial State Insurance Agency. Reach out to us if you're looking for any kind of personal or commercial quote. Be more than happy to set you up and take care of you. But also, before I forget, this is an open invitation to all business owners out there. So if you are a business owner or know of a business owner that would love to be on the podcast and highlight your business and your stories, feel free to reach out to us on the Centennial State Insurance Agency Facebook page or the podcast group Facebook page, and be more than happy to reach out and get something set up. So thank you very much for everyone tuning in, and we will see you next time on another episode of Behind the Small Business. Take care, everyone.